Yep. Uh, Let me know once you guys able to see my screen. Can anyone confirm?
No, not able to.
Okay, just now.
Yeah,
Is
it's
it?
fine now. Yes.
Yep. So before starting the demo, can I understand the background of you people? Like, I mean, are you people new to SAP, or you're already in SAP and want to explore the IBP? So I will start with Vatsalya on your side.
Yeah, no, actually, I'm new to SAP. So I want to get into the SAP. So the reason I have searched and I thought this is a um, latest one. So the reason I'm interested to learn.
Okay, okay. Yeah, fine. And what about you, Suresh, from your side?
Yes, hi Karthik. Actually, I'm from Hyderabad. I used to work with TCS. So due to sudden layoff, I could not. I'm not working anyway for the last 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
I used to work with SAP APO, SNP,
Okay, okay,
not into implementation, just SAP support.
okay, got it. So you want to move into IBP side.
Yes, so when I'm going through with this LinkedIn and everything, so all the experts are saying APO is about to expire, so just get trained for the IBP. In next 2 or 3 months, you will get a good opportunity like that by
Oh,
giving an.
yeah, yeah. Thanks, Suresh. Uh, Move on to Jayavarnit.
Uh, is it audible to you or
Yeah,
hello?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Myself, Vidinakar. Actually, this is my son's ID. Okay.
Okay.
I'm into SAP only. I'm working as a technical consultant,
Mm,
working on the different modules like SD, BP,
mm.
IBP, not IBP, core IBP. The backend part, I'll be working on the backend part. I'm into say data sending from ECC or S4 to into the IBP system. Though the interfaces part I worked on. Not in the IBP side, but different modules of SAP.
Okay, and
So
you when exposure on the CADS, right? CPI.
no, not I am into like I worked on the SDI part, smart data integration,
Mm-hmm.
and RTI little knowledge is there. Not I didn't work by my one of my colleague has worked extensively on the RTI part.
Okay, okay, got it.
CID is not into that, but
Mm-hmm.
I heard the name of the CID.
Okay, okay. Yeah,
But
thanks.
mostly into the SDI part. I worked on SDI part, smart data integration.
Okay, okay, got it. Yeah, yeah. Thanks everyone for the quick intro. So, this side Karthik having around 14 plus years of experience into supply chain. So today's agenda is just to give you overview of IBP, and before that, where exactly IBP sits in the supply chain, and how IBPs evolved. Okay, and what are the core functionalities of IBP? We'll discuss all those stuff. So to start, does anybody know about the supply chain network? So how it is, and what is the starting node of any supply chain, of any organization? Any one of you?
Yeah,
Maybe Suresh.
yes. Actually, it will start from the downstream,
Mm-hmm.
downstream customers,
Mm-hmm.
customers to retailers, retailers to distributors, distributors to plants, plants to suppliers, suppliers to vendors.
Right, exactly. So, if suppose if you wanna buy a any two wheeler, let us say you wanna buy a Honda a scooty, okay. So now you don't directly reach it to the Honda manufacturing unit, right? So you will reach it to the nearest service retailer, so Honda. So there you will inquire about whatever the product you want to buy it. So there they will see that
Hello? Hello? Seems it got muted. Hello?
Hello. I can actually we lost the we lost him.
Hello? It seems actually unmute only. Trainers one.
So this is the requirement. So let us say requirement is 100,
Hello?
then
Hello? Hello, sir. Till now we didn't hear your voice from almost.
In between, we lost you, Karthik.
Yeah, yeah.
okay. So now is it?
Now it is clear.
Yeah, it's clear, but we completely miss from the starting
Okay.
you're saying that.
Where you lost it?
When you started with the supply chain, we lost with example, we lost the connectivity.
Okay, fine then. So if you take any organization, okay, so the starting node of the supply chain network is a customer. Okay, so the customer, whatever the requirement he has, he reaches to the retailers, and the retailers will verify the stock. If the stock is not available, then he will further propagate the demand to the distribution
Sorry to
center.
interrupt. We can't see your screen.
Now, so I think now is it? Hello.
Yes, fine. Yeah,
Yeah.
fine.
I think it got disconnected in between. That is the reason my screen sharing also stopped, I think. Yep. So here I have taken a simple supply chain network. So with the starting node as a customer, ending node as a supplier. Okay. So whatever the requirement you have at the starting node of your supply chain network, that is a customer, it will flow to the retailers, and the retailer will verify the stock. If the stock is not available, it will pass on the demand to the distribution center, and distribution center will verify the stock. If it is not available, it will pass on to the manufacturing units, and manufacturing units will verify the raw materials, the capacity, if everything is available. If not, it will pass on that raw materials demand to the supplier to get the raw materials into the manufacturing unit. Once it is received, then it will start producing it, right? So whatever the requirement, if 100 is there, right? It will flow this node to this node, this node to this node, this node to this node. This is how the requirement and the demand will flow from downstream nodes to the upstream node of your supply chain. Okay. So now, against that, the supply will flow from the upstream nodes to the downstream nodes. Okay. So the supplier will fulfill the raw materials to the plant, and the plant will produce it, and the plant will distribute to the DC, and the DC will distribute to the retailer. Retailer will fulfill the customer demand. Right. So for any organization to sustain in the market, okay, so this flow should be properly managed, right? So that means you should be able to uh, 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 deliver, or you should be able to provide the supply in a right quantity at the right time with the right quality, right? If you are able to manage that, then you can sustain in the market. So now to handle that, so I mean, I have taken a very simple supply chain network here with a simple customer. But in reality, in the real world, you don't have only one customer. All right. You have n number of customers, and you have n number of retailers are there, and based upon the each organization, the distribution centers and the plants and the respective suppliers will vary. Okay. To have this seamless flow from downstream to upstream, upstream to the downstream. Okay. So you should have a proper plan in place. Okay. So that will be handled via tools only. Manually, you can't do it. Okay. So in the market, we have HANA plan to handle that supply chain. We have JDA, and we have Kinaxis also. We have OMP. We have from SAP side, we have SAP APO and SAP IBP. These are the tools which are available in the market to handle the supply chain. Now, in the ERP world, 70% of the market is grabbed by the SAP products only, right? I can say even more than that. So now let us focus on the SAP provided solutions to handle their supply chain problems. So those are SAP APO and SAP IBP. So SAP APO is the on-premise solution. Does anybody know what is on-premise solution? Any idea?
On-premise is in the organization. They place everything server, everything is set up.
Right, right. So if you wanna implement that APO product for your organization, within the organization, you need to set up everything. Okay, database and everything should be there at the client location. So whereas IBP is a cloud solution. So cloud solution means you just need to take the license and the database and everything will be handled by the SAP. Okay. It's more like, for example, if you take a Facebook or Instagram. Okay. So you just need an account in it. From anywhere you can access it. Okay. It need not to be in a limited premises or something like that. You can access from anywhere. You can access the same data. If you open in the PC, the same kind of data you will see. If you open it in the mobile, you will get the same information. The only thing is you need to have a account in it. So, but Instagram and the Facebook, these are the free accounts. But whereas IBP is not that free, right? You need to subscribe to that. You need to get the license, and then you can access from anywhere. So now to handle the end-to-end supply chain, SAP APO is further subdivided into the 5 modules, major modules. Those are demand planning, supply network planning, production planning and detailed scheduling, transportation and vehicle scheduling, and GATP. Okay. So demand planning is basically it's a forecasting tool. So what it will do is it will read your past sales. So based upon the past sales, it will help you to predict the future sales. Okay, for the next 6 months, how the sales going to be. And then for the next 1 year, how many sales you are going to get, how much demand you are going to get. It will help you to predict that. So basically, it's a long-term plan. So by reading your historical data, it will help you to predict the sales for the future. So once you get to know that this is a demand you are going to get for the next 6 months or the next 1 year, so you should able to plan supply, right? How you are going to deliver that, right? In order to meet that demand, where to produce, how much to produce, in which location I need to store the inventory, which location I need to connect. Okay, so you need to have a proper supply plan in place, a rough supply plan. Okay, so that will be handled via SNP. It will read your demand, whatever you have predicted. On top of that, whatever the ongoing sales are there. So it will read that. Based upon that, it will help you to generate the supply plan. It's a midterm plan. Okay. So against your demand, it will give you an idea of supply plan. Now, whatever the supply plan you got it, you got an idea where to produce, how much to produce, which DC I need to link, all those stuff, right? So now you need to convert that supply plan into the actual production plan. Okay, so that will be done via PPDS. Okay, production planning and detailed scheduling. Here, every second will matter. It's a short-term plan. Okay. Um, Along with the production plan, it will do the detailed scheduling as well. So like if you want to produce 10 products, okay, on tomorrow, okay, so now out of those 10 products, okay, 10 orders, 5 orders are belongs to the one product and 3 are belongs to another product and 2 are belongs to another product. Okay, so now in which sequence I need to produce? Do I need to produce the product 1, which is of 5 quantity, and then product 2 of 3 and the product 3 of 2, or product 3 first and then product 2 later? So in whichever the sequence you want to do that production activity, so that will also carried out with the help of the PPDS. So now let's move on to the next module, that is TPVS. TPVS is a transportation and vehicle scheduling. What it will do is during the planning, okay. So once the planning is done, during the planning, you in order to move uh, 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 one in order to move the products from one node to another node of your supply chain network. Okay, for example, you produced 100 today, and tomorrow you are producing one more 100, and 200 I need to transfer to the customer, for example. Okay, instead of sending 100 today and tomorrow 100, you can keep that as an inventory, and tomorrow you can send 200 all together to the customer. Okay, so it I have taken example of customer. It can be another node as well. It can be a DC or the retailer as well. So basically, the TPVS will looks to optimize your transportation. Okay, how optimally I can manage the transportation between the nodes. Okay, that will be dealt by a TPVS. Now, whatever the modules we have seen so far, these are within the organization. The planning will happen. Now, GATP is a tool which directly interacts with your customer. Okay, it's a front end tool, you can say. So the best example I can give, Flipkart and Amazon e-commerce websites are there, right? If you want to buy something, you just look for that product. Okay, then if you type that product, it will give you a list of vendors to you, right? So if you pick up one vendor, if you click on one vendor, and it will give you by when you are going to get that product. The same kind of functionality in the ERP world, the GATP will can I mean, GATP can do that functionality. Okay, what it will do is it will capture the customer requirement. It will take your customer requirement, and it will verify your supply chain whether you can able to fulfill that or not. If yes, by when you are going to fulfill it. Basically, it will provide a delivery date to the customer. Okay, so now what SAP did is on top of these tools, these modules. So SAP thought of bringing the S&OP meetings we used to have, right? Whenever you are finalizing the demand or when you are finalizing the supply. So that process, they want to bring it to the system. Okay, so that it will be in a systematic manner. Further, they started developing a tool called S&OP. Later, they renamed the tool to SAP IBP. Okay, so once they rename it to IBP, whatever the functionalities you have in APO, that is demand planning, they slowly migrated those functionalities to the IBP as IBP for demand, and SNP as IBP for supply and response, and IBP S&OP as well. And whatever the PPDS is there, right? It is migrated to S4 HANA. This is the execution system from SAP. So the PPDS is migrated to S4HANA as ePPDS, and this is as TM, and this is as AATP. Okay. So once the respective modules which are there in APO, it is moved, some modules are moved to S4HANA, some modules are moved to IBP. So now SAP is completely stopped development in the APO world. Okay. So it was there since last 2 decades in the market, but now SAP completely stopped the development, and it is going to stop the support as well, whoever already implemented that product. Okay. And along with this, IBP has other modules as well, IBP for inventory and IBP for supply chain control tower as well. So like that. Okay. So any doubts so far how IBP evolved?
So
Any
when I
doubt?
see when I say
I
PPDS short term, when we say PPDS short term, it is showing as S&OP operation. So 26th line. So how come this is converting like PPDS means production planning detailed schedule, and I
Mhm.
is saying as sales and operations.
No, no.
So
EPPDS is moved to S4HANA as EPPDS. PPDS won't be there in IBP. It is there in S4HANA going forward. Okay.
okay, so this is a different module we have to learn EPPDS. It will not be in the IBP.
Yeah, yeah. So PPDS won't be there. See, so these things, demand planning is coming as a demand. Okay. SNP as a supply and S&OP as well. And on top of that, we have an inventory, supply chain control tower, all those stuff. Okay. Whereas the remaining modules are there, right? PPDS, TPVS, GATP, it is migrated to S4 HANA as EPPDS, TPVS as a TM, and GATP as a AATP.
Oh,
Okay, clear?
yes, it is clear. I was confused. So I
No,
was thinking PPD is so included in IBP.
no. PPDS is a scheduling tool, right? So that is not a capability of IBP. So it is moved to S4HANA.
Okay. So in PPDS, we will be having T codes and everything like SAP. It will not
Right.
be
I
like
mean,
an
whatever
IBP.
you have in APO days, the same kind of functionality they are bringing into the S4HANA box. That's it.
Okay.
There won't be any integrations. So earlier to bring the data into the APO, we need a SIF and all, right? So now they eliminated that directly. That PPDS box, they directly put it into the S4HANA.
Yes. Understood.
Yeah. So good, right? Vatsalya and uh,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yes.
good. So now let us quickly go into the IBP overview. Let me just open the PPT. So, so I'm in a PPT. So are you guys able to see, right?
And we can see.
Correct. So, so as I mentioned, IBP has again submodules. Those are IBP for demand, inventory, supply, S&OP, and the supply chain control tower. Okay. So demand. So can anyone tell me what is demand planning? I mean, irrespective of the tool, forget about the tool, what is APO or IBP or Anaplan, whatever the tool. But in general, if I say demand planning, okay, what is the general process we follow? What is the general demand planning cycle?
Generally, demand planning is we take the sales forecast for the last 3 years from the customers, and
Mm-hmm.
we will predict the sales for the next 3 years based on the
Mm-hmm.
horizons,
Okay.
monthly, monthly, half yearly, yearly. So it will generate the forecasting based on the customer, like statistical trend value, like these things.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Vatsalya? Any idea?
No, actually.
Okay. Okay. So basically, the demand planning first step is we need to gather the historical data, right? Because historical data is an important thing with which only you can able to do the demand planning. So first you need to gather the historical data. Once you gather the historical data, you need to clean that historical data because there may be some outliers, there may be some due to some technical glitches, some data may be missed. Okay, there may be some promotions are there. We need to remove all those things before going for the actual forecasting, right? Because suppose what do you say during the corona, if you take uh, if you look at the sales of the automobile industry in the that those 3 months, the April, May, and June. Okay, that is a peak season of Corona, right? In that year, 2022. So, so the sales of the automobile industry it is very less. It doesn't mean that if I consider the sales history as it is, what will happen next year in the April, May, and June months of the next year, it will try to predict the less sales. But that is not the actual scenario. That is not the actual sales. That was happened due to some XYZ event. Here, the event is a corona. All right. Or if you look at the sanitizers, during that period, the sanitizer sales are very high. Okay. So the sales are not the normal sales. So those were happened due to the corona. Okay. If you look at now, the same kind of sales you can expect? No, right? So whenever you are considering the sales data, you can't take as it is. So there may be some outliers are there, there may be some promotions are there. So you need to remove all those things, and then you need to consider the clean historical data for the forecasting. So now once you clean the historical data, then what you will do? You will pick up the any forecasting formula, or if you want to follow algorithms based upon the tools or any custom formulas you have. So based upon certain error methods, you will finalize one forecasting thing, and that will be every month you will monitor it whether within the limits or not, right? That is a general demand planning cycle. The same thing when you bring it to the IBP to clean the historical data, it has three methods are there, like substitute missing values, the outlier detection, the correction, or the promotional sales lead elimination. So with which you can clean your historical data. Once you clean your historical data, before going for the forecasting, to understand about your sales, we have time series analysis is there. We have ABC XYZ segmentation is there. So these methods, these processes will give you more clarity or more about your sales history patterns, how the products are. Okay, then you will be more. You are in a good position to pick up the right forecasting model, right? That kind of functionality you will have it in the demand planning or the IBP for demand. Next, we have n number of algorithms are there, okay, to go ahead and generate the statistical forecasting. We have error methods are there. All the error methods it will support: MAP, RMP, MSC, RMSC, all those stuff. And even it will support the life cycle planning, like when you're introducing a product, how to handle the demand planning, or when you are moving the product out of the market, how to handle that. All those functionality you will get as a part of IBP for demand. So now let's move on to the supply side. So what is the purpose of the supply here? Once you got to know the demand, how you are going to fulfill that, how you are going to manage the supply within your supply chain network, right? So for that, we have supply is there, IBP for supply. Here it will have the both constraint and unconstrained planning runs are there. Those are heuristic and optimizer. With the help of that, it will help you to give a rough idea of your supply plan. Now, on top of the demand and the supply, we have the inventory as well. So, can anyone guess why the inventory planning is necessary for the organization? Anyone of you? Why inventory
To
planning is
reduce
necessary?
the stock, to reduce the stock outs
Okay,
and
good.
to minimize wastage and also
Unexpected
cost.
to meet the unexpected demands.
Okay, okay, good. Yeah. Any more answers? Yeah. Uh, Sorry, I forgot Jai Varnit. I forgot your name.
Dinakar it is.
Dinikar. Yeah. So as Suresh and Dinikar mentioned, so to avoid stockout situation and to avoid high inventory holding cost rates, so inventory planning is necessary. So because if you let us say if you wanna buy a product and you went to your shop, okay, and at that shop the product is not there. Okay, if the shopkeeper told that the product is not there, can you wait for 2 days? Okay, then if it is not urgent, you can wait, okay, for 2 days. Again, if you went there and again the shopkeeper tell the same thing, okay, then what you will do, you will obviously move to the some other shop, right? The same thing applies to the organizations as well. So now whenever the customer is not getting the requirement on time, okay, the stock out situation, so then there is a tendency that he may move to other organization or the other products, right? So the stock out, it is not good for your supply chain. At the same time, to avoid the stock out, if you keep more stock, okay, it may lead to the high inventory holdings also, right? When you are keeping the stock means for the maintenance, for the you need a manpower, you need a place for that, you need to pay the rent and electricity, all those stuff is right, that we call it as the inventory holding cost, right? If you keep more stock and you are not getting the demand, that will also a problem, right? So you should be able to know how much inventory I need to maintain at each node of your supply chain network. So that is the reason inventory planning will help you to keep right inventory at the right node of your supply chain network to avoid the stock out or the high inventory holding cost rates. Okay, that's where the IBP inventory will be there. So it has again 2 3 algorithms are there with which it will help you to predict the safety stock, cycle stock, pipeline stock, all those stuff. Now on top of this, we have the sales and operations planning. So what we do in the sales and operations meetings? Anybody have an idea? Generally, within the organizations, when the people are saying we have a S&OP meeting, what actually we do in the S&OP meetings? Any idea? Vatsalya, Suresh, Dinikar?
What will be the sales forecasting? I mean to say sales forecasting, and accordingly, what is the operations to be done? Those things and all will be discussed in the SNOP
Right.
planning.
Right, kind of, yes. So basically, in the S&OP meetings, all the stakeholders come together, right? So from the finance team, from the logistics team, from the supply team, okay, from the sales team, from the marketing team, all the stakeholders will come together, get handshake with each other to finalize your demand or the supply, right? So that process, if you want to have a streamline, then you will have the S&OP planning. So when you get the S&OP module of IBP, okay, you will get the some basic functionality of demand and some basic functionality of the supply as well. Okay. Now on top of this, we have the control tower as well. So control tower, so it's an analytic module. So whatever the planning you do, so in order to visualize those data in the form of the charts or the dashboards, so then the control tower will help you. Okay. So any doubts so far here before proceeding further? Good. Right. So this is a high level architecture of IBP. So the backend is S4HANA, and IBP is a completely a planning tool. It won't do any execution part. Okay, it will bring the data from your source system. It will do the planning, and once the planning is done, it will publish the results back to your source system. Okay, to do that, so we have an interface is required, right? So integration interface, that is where the CADS will comes into the picture. So the CADS will support SAP or non-SAP integrations as well. And there is one more, that is RTI, real-time integration. This is for the SAP products only. You can integrate your S4HANA to IBP via RTI, and the via CADS also you can integrate, but CADS will support the non-SAP systems integrations as well to IBP. Okay. So now IBP as a both Excel user interface and the web user interface as well. Okay. So as you know, business users are very familiar with the Excels. Whatever the things that they will do, almost they will sit on the Excels only. So IBP has that advantage. Whatever the functionality we have, you can manage via Excel. Okay. And it has a web UI also. So you can access from anywhere. You can access from mobile, you can access from tab or the PC. That flexibility also there for the IBP. Okay, right. So if I look at silent key features of IBP, uh, it has a two interface, that is Excel and the web. And the web, the applications are in the form of Fiori, like in the mobile, how the applications are there, apps, right? The dedicated apps are there, right? Similarly, IBP also in the web, the dedicated apps will be there for demand planning. Certain apps will be there for supply planning. Certain apps will be there like that. It will be easy to handle it, easy to interact with the tool. So landscape, it's a cloud-based installation. So whatever the module you want to implement for your organization, you just need to get the license for that. No need to get the entire IBP license. For your organization, only the demand planning you want to implement. Just get the license for IBP for demand. Okay. And one a good thing is when you're getting the license from for any module like the demand or the supply or the inventory, at an added advantage, SAP give a free SCCT, supply chain control tower as a free. Okay, it is not charged. So earlier they used to charge, but the recent years they stopped it. They are giving as a free. Okay, So whichever the module which is really required for your organizations, as per that, you just get the license for that. Now, it has a inbuilt analytics in the form of SACT. You can visualize the data in the form of the charts and dashboards. And data model, yes, it has the unified data model and the flexible data model. Okay. So unified data model means you can create one planning model and with which you can manage all kinds of planning. Okay. You can do a demand planning, you can do supply planning, you can do inventory planning, you can do supply chain control tower, all those stuff. Okay. Within one, with the help of the one planning model. And you can, it will support the other way also. Dedicated model only for the supply, dedicated model only for the demand. So like that, that is also supported. Both the unified and the flexible data models are there in IBP. Integration, as I mentioned, it is connected via CADS and RTI, and it is collaborated with the collaboration group as well to interact with the all the planners offline, sorry, online, when you are doing the planning and the features we discussed. So this is just an overview about IBP. So with which over to you guys. So any doubts? At least you got an idea, right? What is IBP? What IBP is capable of? What exactly it does?
Yes.
Good. So any questions, Vatsalya or
One question, Karthik.
hmm,
The thing
yeah.
is, IBP, is it an online tool, or I can say that like a lazy load kind of tool?
It's a online tool only. You can access. So if you say this is a
No, I'm okay. Coming to the planning part,
hmm,
I'm going to say, coming to the planning part about the system the IBP supports is it a
hmm.
online? It takes the online data, or I'm going to say uh, 1 day data kind of thing, 1 day before kind of data.
Acha, you are saying that whether it is a real time or not, right?
Yeah, correct.
Right. It's depending upon the what kind of interface you have used to link your source system to IBP. So
Okay.
for SAP systems, it is not a real time. Okay. For SAP
Hmm.
source systems, a kind of real time you can say. If you are going with
Okay.
the RTI. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
No questions from my side, Karthik.
Yeah. So any other queries? Want to know anything? Yeah. So if no further
Okay,
queries,
one question is like one more question. Sorry. Uh, in the training part, you will be having the like you will have the cloud system or how? Uh,
so in the training part, we will all directly deal within the IBP only. So we'll
mhm,
manually upload the data into IBP server. Okay.
mhm.
So and we'll do all kinds of planning within IBP only. Okay.
Okay, okay,
Integration part we are not dealing.
okay. Yeah, yeah.
Right.
So by project, we will be trying or how it will be?
So this will be like will the approach is like first we are going to build the planning model. Okay. So whenever I'm explaining certain concepts, I will take a real-time examples with which I'm going to set up the things in the system in front of you only. Once we set up the things, we'll visualize the results, how it is going to work, what are the different scenarios we have, so how it is going to behave like that. That is the approach we follow.
Okay, and duration, everything we need to consult the and
Come
mean.
again. What's I didn't get you.
No, like how many days we can do this IBP, and later we'll get any projects, how it will be the course?
So it will be around 30 plus hours. Okay. So, and it depends again, it depends upon the how you people are, I mean, understanding the concepts, the pace at which you people are accepting the concepts. So it will vary.
And any prerequisites need for this IBP, like APO? Do I
No,
need to?
it's not mandatory to have a knowledge on APU. But if you have an idea on APU, it's a added advantage. That's it. But it is not a prerequisite.
Okay, thank you.
Mm.
Karthik, what will be the timings if we come to this
So
course?
that need to finalize. Okay. So maybe coordinator will help you with that based upon you people's availability and my availability will
I mean,
finalize
it's a regular or a weekly?
the both the things. Whether it is a few people wants to go for the weekend, then we'll connect on the weekends in the mornings or the weekdays in the mornings. Okay.
Okay, Karthik, can we get anything like what kind of topics we will be going through? So, do we have any Excel like or any format?
Yeah, yeah. Just a second. Mm.
What topics we will cover for this
Yeah, yeah.
session?
Just a second. I'll just explain what are the in what I mean. What is the flow I follow to explain the concepts. Let me know once you guys are able to see my screen. Can anyone confirm?
Yes, yes, we can.
So
Yes.
we start with the setup. Planning model is an important thing before going for any kind of planning. Okay. So we'll start with the up to this. This is the planning model setup only. How we can once you create the planning model, how we can upload the data. How once you upload the data, how we can visualize the data. All those stuffs. Once you're clear with this, then I will start with the demand planning. And before that, the basic operators will discuss, and then demand planning concepts, and then supply planning time series, and control tower, and the inventory. Okay, these are the things in this flow only, in this manner only. I'm going to explain. First, focus on the model configuration, and then once you guys are thorough with the model configuration, I will move on to the planning side. Okay, clear? Yeah. So, any further queries?
Uh, okay, one more question. Is the supply and response or one and the same or any difference in between these two? Because I heard you talking about the demand and supply, but
Right.
there is one more response is also there, right?
Right. So supply planning are divided into two parts. Okay, one is the order-based planning, and the second one is a time series planning. Okay, so as a
Mm-hmm.
part of our course, we are going to cover the time series supply planning, not the order-based supply planning. So conceptually, both are the same things. Here also heuristics are there, optimizers are there. Here also same thing, but how you handle the data. Okay, so that
Mm-hmm.
differentiates the response and the time series supply planning. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Any further queries?
No,
Okay. Good then. Thanks for joining. For any other queries, be in touch with your coordinator, and we'll connect soon. Okay.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank you.
you. Thank you, Karthik.
Thank you.